Hello. I thought I'd talk today a little bit about the Matrix, the rat trap. Um, I'm no great expert on it, but I'm trying to escape it. I'm still in it. I still have a job. I still have to work to earn my keep. But I want to talk a little bit about what it is and how do we get out of it, or even can we? Um, for me, I think the key to getting out of the rat race aspect of the Matrix is financial independence. That is, where you don't actually have to work anymore in order to earn enough money or make enough money to live comfortably. Well, preferably comfortably, but at least to get by. I know there are people who do this by just lounging on benefits, but then you've always got the state interfering, and you've got the chance that they will be withdrawn at some point after all, and it's immoral anyway, if you don't have to. But first, I mean, what is this thing which has come to be known as the Matrix after that movie, The Matrix, or the rat trap as it used to be called before that? I think, and I may be mistaken, I don't know, it's how the powers that be keep you and I under control. You have this famous saying from ancient Rome, bread and circuses. The emperors could do whatever they liked, and they did, as long as the population were well fed and well entertained. In those days it was the Colosseum and gladiators and brutal violence. It was that kind of a world, and it's still that kind of a world, but slightly modified. And well fed, yes, and for the wealthy-ish, there was even shopping and things like that in those days. And when I look at the people around me, not so much the people I know well, because I choose friends obviously who are more like me, but your typical Brit, the guys are, it seems to me, obsessed with football and the pub and showing off, bravado, that sort of stuff. The women seem to be, you can't talk to them unless it's about EastEnders or shopping. I mean, we know what women like, don't we? Handbags, shoes, chocolate, jewellery. Have I missed something out? I think I have. I'll think of it one at some point. But that sort of thing. Clothes, that's it, clothes, yeah. I go down to the local mall, and I would say something like 80% of the shops are aimed at female shoppers, selling them stuff they really don't need. I mean, they need some clothes, but do you really need like 20 different clothes shops, shoe shops, jewellery shops, etc, etc, etc. Shoes. Oh. Some people have collections of shoes that they've never worn. Yeah, I have 2 pairs of shoes. Okay, anyway, and some slippers, so 3, I suppose, technically. So, what's wrong with that? It's fine to have a hobby. I waste my money on stuff too. Not so much, but some. I tend to waste my money on computer games. Okay. But I don't go out and buy this football team's t-shirt, and then the A team's and the B team's t-shirts, and then their kit, and then the shoes, and the annual, and then next year's, and the years after that, and show off about it. I mean, yeah, it's great to have a hobby, but there comes a point where it's a waste of money, and for some people it's like their only enjoyment is buying stuff to show what a great lifestyle they've got. And actually they don't even really enjoy the stuff itself. There's a thrill of buying it. There's a bit of bravado or kudos when you show it off, although actually nobody's interested really. They're only interested in themselves. And then what do you do with it? Stuff it in a cupboard? Give it to the charity shop? I don't know. And all the time, you kind of... I think these people think that they are... This is most people, I suppose, think that they're gaining some control over their lives when they're spending the money. They're getting things that they want. They're trying to persuade themselves that they've got some nice lifestyle. But it's fake, and it's empty, and so shallow. And it is bread and circuses. We have plenty of bread in the modern world in the West. The difficulty is to avoid eating too much. There's so much of it. Diabetes is on the rampage, and it's partly caused by vast quantities of sugar in all our foods because it's addictive and the food makers know it and they don't care what it does to us. They just want our money. And the matrix, as it were, is the economic system and the advertising system as it's manifested in the modern world in the West, which is designed to make you work to get other people rich. And you work and work and work, and then you spend all of your money on junk that you don't need. Stuff that you will use maybe briefly. It's deliberately designed to break anyway after a short time, and so if you think you need these things, you have to buy more and more of them anyway. And if you buy into that, literally buy into that, you will be working for all of your life. And there will be no retirement ultimately either. You'll be in debt even because you believe that you deserve this great lifestyle and it's worth spending at high interest rates on credit cards or something to satisfy that addictive desire to have more stuff. But the economy doesn't have to be arranged like that. We're told that we have to keep the economy going, we have to spend or we'll go into recession and depression and prices will fall. Actually, it would be a good thing for most people if prices were to fall. And although it's nice to have a choice of 50 varieties of shampoo in the supermarket, we could probably get away with half a dozen or a dozen. And we don't need 100 different types of toothpaste. And in the clothes shops, so many different types of clothes. I mean, yes, it's great for people to express their individuality, but isn't it a bit over the top when there are people starving and when it would only take $1 trillion to feed everybody in the world? The US military spend 3 times that much on air conditioning for their overseas troops. It's something which would be easily affordable, and our economy is just not orientated that way at all. It's psychopathic, sociopathic, and it's getting ordinary people, training them to be obsessed with nonsense just so it can take their money off them and, of course, keep them passive, keep them quiet, keep them out of politics, keep them acting like sheep, spouting the same as their neighbours, criticising any original thoughts. If you're too clever, you must be gay or something, you know. Apparently that's a bad thing, of course. Anybody who's different, who thinks a bit, is frowned upon, or is boring, or is a geek, or a nerd. Well, so what? you know. It's better to be a financially independent geek or a nerd than a brainless, unhappy sheep. I think. Am I being critical? Yes, I am. But how to get out of this? If you want financial independence, if you want to maybe retire at some point with enough money to live on, what can you do? In this country, the government has recently implemented pension laws, having repealed them a couple of decades ago. Now companies have to offer pensions. Not all companies still have to, but the smaller ones will have to before long. It's being phased in. But when you look at the technicalities of it, they're only forcing people to save 1/5 of what they actually need to save up for a proper pension, for enough to live on. So it's cosmetic at the moment. And anyway, the pension investment companies have a very bad track record. They have a great record for losing people's money, or of you putting in X 100,000 and getting out X minus 10 or something like that. So to me, it seems the best thing is to yes, start young if you can afford it. Saving, investing. That means probably not even getting a student debt, because that will take you 20 or 30 years to pay off. You might be better off not doing it. It's things to consider, but unless you have a particular purpose in university, only you can know that. Obviously, if you're a prodigy, it's worth getting a full education. But if you're a bit dim to start with, is it really going to benefit you? You might be better off getting a job and not spending everything that you earn. Just a thought. Okay, bye for now.